313watkins.com. Streaming on Roku.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones, and
Welcome to the Billy E. Jones Talk Beat Jones show. I am sitting in for Billy Jones. I am Michelle Broughton. Happy Wednesday, good morning, good afternoon, however you see us. We are happy to be here. Again, I am Michelle Broughton, here sitting in for our host, Billy Jones. And today I would like to bring some information to keep us happy, healthy, and safe. In Detroit, it's another hot day. So we need to make sure that our family members, whether they're seniors, small children, or our fur animals that are at home, stay safe, cool, and hydrated. Because we also, in Detroit, have an outbreak. And that's with the, it's like a stomach sickness. It's probably even worse than that. And we have to be mindful to wash our hands, to wash the fruits and vegetables. They are even currently saying you might not want to get the cut up vegetables in those bags. Get the whole fruit or the whole lettuce, because the outbreak is really messing with our well-being. So just be mindful to make sure we stay hydrated, safe, wash our hands, check on our family members, check on our neighbors, check on our seniors, because it's really important to keep us safe and happy. Another thing today I'd like to bring up, we have to become a little more aware, and I know probably in today's society it's scary to be my brother and sister's keeper, but we should at least be mindful, conscious, kind, aware, not attacking, because again, we didn't lose anybody, but a 5-year-old happened to be shot as he was outside with his father riding a bike in front of their house because of some other people at a nearby park decided to pull out a gun and shoot up in the sky or whatever it is that they're doing. And so somebody, a 5-year-old, is hurt. We have to be mindful. We have to talk to our teenagers. We should. In the schools, teachers can't do everything. They try. They have seminars, they have talks, they have the police come in, the counselors come in to talk to these children, but we also need the moms, the dads, the caretakers to pay attention just a little bit more, because sometimes they just want to be heard. And we need to receive whatever it is that they're exposed to, that they go out into the community and try to emulate, because it's copycat. But it becomes serious because people are getting hurt. There was an incident also at a mall, and the story was the teenagers met there, knew they were going there for such an activity, and 2 of them didn't come home, and they were both 15-year-olds. And I'm quite sure those family members are going through some grieving, because every day I had teenagers, and when they went out, it was a question if they would come back, but it should have never been a question if and when they were coming back. So maybe we should slowly, try to be conscious and understand, because today these children are exposed to too much. They have TikTok, they have Facebook, they have MySpace, and anything else, and everything else. And as adults, we aren't checking that. We aren't even using our parental guides to keep them from being exposed to such things. And so they go out in society and get caught up, and sometimes it's a bad, bad story, and sometimes they don't come home. So maybe that's something that we should start wondering how to corral that. Because in the city of Detroit, yes, they have rec centers, yes, they have many things. But if we don't have the mind and the conscious and the intent of these young people, then you have things like, they call it teen takeover. It's not a takeover, it's mayhem and it's chaos. And because there's so many young people, it's hard to corral, it's hard to control, because you have outbreaks and you have police, but the police should be policing and not really manhandling, controlling, curfewing your children, because the children belong to somebody, and the somebodies need to come together and make sure that we are doing it in a loving way, telling the children, the teenagers, their children, that you matter, that you matter. And if you wait a while to grow up, you will grow up and be somebody to be a game changer. And you can make it better. You can make it better than what it is. Because it seems like in some communities, we are under a takedown or an attack. And why do I say that? Because I received information in the mail, and I am a retired educator from Detroit Public Schools, and an avid, running blue through my veins, a union member, still a dues paying member. I believe in the union because the union brings us together and gives protection and direction. And it's better to be protected by the union and not need it than to need it and not have it. Have it because it's right, it's protection, it's guidance, then not. So the information now under attack, they sent out a piece of literature, and it has our national union logo on there. And you want to know what it said? It said you could keep your money. Don't pay the $900. Opt out. And in a deeper dive, it says send it to us. You want to guess what organization is sending that out to dues paying members? Take a good guess. Yeah. Make America beautiful again. Like it never was, right? Like it isn't, like it hadn't been before you got there. Wow. So the best thing I did, I kept having members call me and saying, oh, they're saying I don't have to pay the union dues, and I fill out this card and I can opt out. And the national, it came from the national, but it didn't. It didn't. When you do a deep dive, you really find out who it comes from, and it's an attack. So the best thing I did was I went to my union president, and she's going to go to the state president. And then that chain should go to the national, because I cannot believe that our national president of the AFT would tell dues-paying members to opt out. It's a trick. We're under attack because they don't want teachers and parents to unify. They don't want us to come together because in the big picture, it's all about the Benjamins. And it's not about the workers. It's not about the safety of teachers. It's not about the safety of any working body, including the children in those school buildings. And they started with the schools, the charter schools, because they're under a different umbrella. They're under a different umbrella. See, the public schools, we have rules, we have guidelines, and we have the ability to have inclusion. We have meetings. Parents are welcome. They should come. Then they have teacher and parent-teacher meetings, which parents should come to. And we understand many are under, they're working 2 and 3 jobs. So the best thing about computers or Zoom or being online is we can still have that communication, that open door with our parents. And we need everybody because these children are crying out and it's not safe for them to act out. And it's not fair to punish them, even though they're doing adult things. These are children, and most of them are melanated children. So they're losing their whole entire life, 13, 14, 15 years old, because they're going to be punished if they're caught shooting, killing people with a weapon. And many times it's a handgun. And they're getting it from somewhere. Bullets aren't free. The handgun's not free. We ought to figure out where are they getting the ammunition from. Because last time I checked, a box of bullets was like over $200. Where are they getting that? They're not working. They're getting it from somewhere. And we need to pay attention. We need to listen because they are crying out. You talk about mental health. That's a wake-up call for adults. They are mentally asking, without asking, for direction, for interaction, for love from the people that they know. Could be Big Mama, it could be Granddaddy, Mama and Daddy, whoever it is that they trust. The people, it could be their coaches, because coaches are getting overwhelmed too. I used to be a cheerleader coach for over 15 years, and you wouldn't imagine the stories that those children share with me. And on that note, I had to make sure they got the counseling that they needed, that they were able to be in a safe space, and sometimes had to bring the parents in. Hey, we need to have a conversation because we want our children to be successful. We want them to be greater and better. Most parents want their children to be greater and better than the generations behind. Many do. Some don't know, but that doesn't mean that our children can't go on and be the next Barack Obama, because right now that's probably the only example we have as a stretch. But we want our children to be the best they can be. And right now, they need skilled trade workers. And nobody's talking about that. Nobody is saying that you could be a millionaire being an electrician, being a plumber, being a carpenter, because all of these things are needed. They're needed in all walks. They're needed in the military. They're trying to build ships. They're trying to build airplanes. You have community. You have housing. They are needed. And then you have housing that is in need of repair. Plumber, carpenter, electrician, roofer, people, mason, that's doing the cement. We need these jobs. We need our loved ones to understand that that's an honorable career as well. But nobody is highlighting it where the children can say, okay, I can do that. And I can be great at it. You have AI now. AI is just like when Ford Motor Company and anybody else in the industries welcomed the robotics. Those robots, if you can remember, one robot got rid of 10 jobs. Yep, it sure did. And if you had 10, just do the math. So now you have AI. How many jobs are we going to lose with AI? Until they find out that that's not a good, perfect system either. Because you need a human to program it. You need another human also to maintain it. You need somebody to maintain it. You don't need as many people, but you're going to need folks for that. So now we have to step up our game. Our students, our children, our returning folks need to learn coding. They need to be excited about computers. They need to know that even though we might not own these systems, you need to know how to program them. You need to know how they work. And you need to understand it's coming in a neighborhood near you. And that's why they want these data centers. Data centers are already here. So the conversation really is a deflection. Michigan already has 20. Ohio has 30. And the fight is they want Michigan to step up to have 30. The problem, the perceived problem, data centers use a lot of energy and water, and they cause pollution. So how are you going to safely run a data center coming closer into the city, because they're all out up in the UP. They're not close to Detroit yet, but they're coming. How do you keep our Great Lakes clean? How do you do that? You can't recircle it. They say they're going to recycle it. How does that work? It doesn't work in Nevada because the water evaporates, but nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about that. That's something to think about. And again, all of us need to understand that the computers are changing, they're upgrading. And even if you're not involved, you just want to be aware, because you might have some younger people in your family, and you're going to need to know, how are they impacted by all of this noise? Because it's coming. It's coming. So let's get back and talk about our seniors, because that's a part of taking care. That's the other spectrum of our family, right? Nobody thinks about it, or sometimes they do. But we need better caretakers. Better caretakers. Our seniors have worked their whole life doing what they could do best, many taking care of families, and now it's our turn. It's our turn to find out how to take care of them. Many times it's difficult if they have the Alzheimer's and they don't even remember you're a part of their family. That's difficult. Many become immobile, and then we, the family members, are not able to maybe help them. So we have to seek out extra help to make sure we keep our loved ones safe, happy, and healthy. Can't put them away in a box, because that's not going to work. That is not going to work. So we have to make sure that as much as possible, we don't become victims. Our family members don't become victims of elder abuse. They don't talk about that, but that happens. And the reason why I'm bringing it up is because when we had the power outage for the last 4 days, and I was also affected by that, there was a senior building, and many were trapped in their apartments in the heat without power because they're in wheelchairs and the elevator is out and they cannot go down steps. So I hope that their family members were able to come check on them. You had the outrage, and yes, they should be on a different grid, but they're not. And that's a fight. And that's something that we have to be mindful of, because one day, if you're lucky, you'll be a senior, and you'll hope that we started this routine and the groundbreaking so that when it's your turn, that maybe somebody will come, family members or caretakers, and take care of you. And you can be in those golden years happy and comfortable. Same thing when it's really, really cold in this Detroit, Michigan area. You have to make sure that the seniors in those senior buildings have heat, because extreme either way, hot or cold, is uncomfortable and can be dangerous. So just be mindful that there's a lot for us to do. There is a lot. With this new administration, we got to pay attention to everything, because things are changing. Things are changing. Change is always. And so now it's time for us to adjust. Remember, good or bad, change is always. And we have to be prepared to make that pivot, to make that adjustment. There's an adjustment, and we have to receive it. And that's what we should do. That's exactly what we should do. Change is hard, but change is always. So just get prepared, and you can welcome the change, and then everybody can become comfortable, because that's what you want to be, right? You want to be comfortable. It's Wednesday, and my name is Michelle Broughton, and I'm sitting here for Billy Jones, the Talk Big Jones show, and I'm so grateful that he had the confidence in allowing me to be his host for today, sitting here for Billy Jones, and my name is Michelle Broughton. And I appreciate this time just to share with you, maybe just remind you, maybe you're doing it already, but these are just things to think about. The people around you, in your community, your neighbors, your friends, and those people that are forgotten. We need to become the caretakers of the community in which we live. That's why they say community. It's always been a community. But because, maybe it's because of lack of communication, we don't talk to our neighbors anymore. But we should. We should. And that is something to consider. It really is. So on this last piece before the break, what I'd like to say, the city of Detroit is trying to help out seniors. And they have a program, the senior citizens, and that starts at the age of 65. So 65 is considered a senior citizen in the city of Detroit. And you have taxes. And on your taxes, you have the garbage fee. It's $300. Unless you go down and you look at it, you don't know. You just say, "Oh, my taxes are high," and you know what's going on. If you put in the paperwork, you can have that reduced by half. So now instead of paying the $300, you will be paying the $150. And so that's a savings. That's helpful, because that's something that you could do something else with. So again, if you're 65, a senior, you live in the city of Detroit, go downtown to the city county building, and it's room 130. And you fill out that form, and you will be so happy, because now you will not have to pay that extra fee. It's a reduction. And that may be helpful for you to have that reduction. And if you physically can't go, a member of your family, a caretaker, can go for you. And make sure that you fill out all of the questions that they need from you, so that you can get that reduction. And that's helpful. So that is something that the city is trying to do. And the city also has warming centers if people need that. And that's keeping you safe. And that's at most of the centers. Rec Centers. Now we are going to a break. And on the other side, I will see you then.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones. And
If you enjoy the music, the talk, and the vibe right here on WHPR, we need your support. Help us keep independent radio alive by sending a Cash App donation of whatever you can to $WHPR TV Radio. Every dollar makes a difference. That's $WHPR TV Radio. Support the station that supports you.
You're watching Detroit's own WHPR TV. Detroit Live.
Hi, this is Billy E. Jones, Talk Beat Jones. You can watch me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on WHPR TV 33 Now app. Download our free app at WHPR TV Now.
We are now streaming on Alexa. That's right, we're streaming our TV audio worldwide on Alexa. To get us, just say,
Alexa, enable Watkins Broadcasting.
Okay, here's Watkins Broadcasting. Starting the Watkins Broadcasting live stream.
now Alexa will allow you to listen to your favorite TV programs. Remember, to get us, just say,
Alexa, enable Watkins Broadcasting.
Okay, here's Watkins Broadcasting. Starting the Watkins Broadcasting live stream.
We're streaming our TV audio worldwide.
Justice for Mario Willis. Truth. Facts. Evidence. Matter. Log into justiceformariowillis.com. Read for yourself.
Watkins Broadcasting is going worldwide. Now you can watch Detroit's own WHPR on your TV from anywhere in the world. No matter where you are, you can stay in the know with WHPR TV and Roku. You can get your easy-to-install Roku box from wherever you shop for your entertainment gear. Once your Roku box is connected to your TV and internet, go to the channel store on the home menu of the Roku box. Enter WHPR TV in the search engine and add it to your channels. That's it. That's all you need to get the best in entertainment, news, and talk, no matter where you are. Roku brings all of your favorites to your TV. Netflix, Hulu Plus, Crackle, HBO Go, and now WHPR TV, Detroit Live.
Hey, what's up? This is Timmy Tim. I got all of Detroit on lock to bring you the best in late night entertainment. From music videos to artist interviews to concerts and special events. So you rappers, comedians, club promoters, small business owners want to be on Timmy Tim Live? Give us a call at 313-828-0848 or email me at timmytimlive@gmail.com.
313watkins.com. Streaming on Roku.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talk Beat Jones. And
Welcome back to the Billy E. Jones Talk Beat Jones Show. I'm Michelle Broughton. I'm standing in today for Billy Jones. Again, I'm Michelle Broughton, standing in for Billy Jones today on the Talk Beat Jones Show. Now, in the second half, I'd like to go into something that I'm very, very interested in, and that is our local city politics, right? And all I'm going to say about that is the absentee ballots are out. If you have one, please fill it out. Participate, 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 because you have the chance to be a part of what's coming up. And it matters and it counts. No matter the jargon that you hear, that's just noise. It does matter, and they do count the ballots, and then you have a result. You do. They have counters, they have triple counters, you have your city clerk, you have your Wayne County clerk, and then you have your board. So please do vote, get excited about it, watch it, figure it out. And the most important thing is, if somebody is successful, a candidate, if they're successful, if you have the time, watch them. See how they protect your interests, how they vote, how they move and groove in the spaces that they're in, and how they work with the others. So we have the top is the U.S. Senate race. That's important because that race has no limits. You can stay there as long as the people keep voting you in there. You can stay there. So that's one. Then you have your state reps race. They have limits, but you want to watch how they vote. You have the state Senate. You want to watch how they vote. You have your precinct delegates that are up. Those are your neighbors and your people who live next to you, that are near and dear to you, that may take your concerns to the state reps or to the state Senate or to your U.S. Senator representative. You have Congress candidates that are also running. You want to make sure that you choose the right one. You want to pay attention to see how well they bring back jobs to Michigan, trickling down to jobs in Detroit and any other benefits and programs that we need to survive in this city and make our lives greater and better. You also have on the ballot 2 proposals. The first proposal is called Proposal 2, and that is a tax increase for the school district, for Detroit Public Schools Community District. You want to read about that, you want to know about it, because they want to increase the income to make sure that they have what they need to run the schools. So they say. I think they also need to do a forensic audit. What about all of the monies that you have had, and what is the success rate? They need to do better. We need to do better. And our students need better. Can't keep throwing money down a deep black hole and you get no results. We need results. We need to hold school board members accountable. We need to hold the superintendent accountable. You can't keep giving them a pass, because the only people that are losing are the students. And that was proven in a lawsuit. The students won because they went through the system of the school system, and then they still didn't have all the tools they needed to be successful. And that case was a $94 million case, right? We need to make sure that we pay attention to what and how our students are getting what they need. I don't care how much money you give them. They need certain things like phonics. They need to know reading comprehension. If you can read words but you don't understand what you're reading, then we are failing the kids. We are. So we might need new leadership. We have to ask the right questions, and guess what? They need to answer them. Because many times I go to the school board meetings, and yes, you get to come up to the mic, and they sit there. Yeah, they heard it, but they don't respond to you. They say they will, but they don't. So that platform may need to be adjusted a little bit, because the parents need answers. And if you believe in the school district, then they need to believe in your child and do the best for your child. We can't continuously be the last. Now we're up to the number 44. Really? Really? And for somebody to be in charge for 10 years, and that's the best you can do, I think about that. I would. Because my children, all the children that I've ever taught in my classroom, deserve that. And they need that. Because they're all brilliant. We just have to make sure we turn on their light. They are all brilliant. They all have things to contribute. But if you suppress them and oppress them, and as an adult, school board members, superintendent, teachers included, lunch lady included, if we don't help them dream again, if we don't help them know their purpose, but they ask for more money. Money don't fix everything. I'll say it again. Money doesn't fix everything. You need an example? Do you? For 12 years, you spend all this money and nobody teaches a kid how to read. And they become 18, graduate from high school. All the money in the world. It'll take another, 10 years to bring that person up to par. It's no immediate anything. They're not microwaves. You can't just turn them on. It takes a while. It takes a lot of nurturing. It takes a lot of nurturing. And if you're sick and broken, many times, all the money in the world is not going to fix that ailment or what's broken, no matter what you do. And that's just, sometimes, money is not the answer. The work is the answer. Putting in the work and making sure that those students get what they need. Yeah, they want to be paid, but I'm asking for results. It's not fair to keep saying that the kids aren't at grade level. Why not? Why not? Tell me why not. With all the things that they have, it seems like there is one school district that's going back to the basics. They're getting rid of the computers, not getting rid of them, but they're doing reading, writing, arithmetic, and phonics first. Because you can get the computer anytime. But if you don't have the basics, you're behind the 8 ball. And that's real talk. Talk beat Jones. That's real talk. So the other thing is, on the ballot, the next proposal is a transit proposal. Now that one is an increase, but it's also a continuance. And the increase is about, and don't quote me, it's about $8. Now, $8 investment is worth it if it takes the people to their jobs and bring them back, or to any facility that they need to get services to be better and greater and back. because many times the buses aren't running. Say, for example, they work for a company and they have what they call the graveyard shift, right? Everybody knows what that is, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, many times there wasn't a bus schedule at 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. So that becomes a challenge for those people that need to work those jobs and then get back home safely. So as I understand it, and again, don't quote me, I read it. I think I read it correctly. And I'm hearing noise, that proposal would help get those seniors, those students, those workers to their jobs. And for Detroit, that's across 8 Mile to either Oakland County or Macomb County safely, and then back, because now we'll have transit going to those communities and coming back. And with hours that are conducive to the workers and to the people that need to get to places, get their services, or go to work and then come back. So that's something to think about. How do we get people to jobs? How do we get people to healthcare systems? How do we get people to where they need to be in those different counties and back safely? So that proposal is there for us to vote on. That's something to think about. That's something maybe to invest in. If you have people at home that, because it's so expensive, gas is so expensive, it really is. Now, with the other noise that's going on, gas rates this morning went up again. Oil is gas, and it translates to us like in seconds. So for those that need an opportunity for other transportation, that's a good deal. Maybe their car, their vehicle is broken down. So now you have a secondary way to get to work on time, to get to the doctors on time. Maybe the insurance rates are so high, so you park your car in the driveway until you can do better. So it's many, many different variables that may help us choose a different way, different transportation to get where we got to go. So that's just one of the things. There are other communities that have invested in this transportation tax increase because they believe in the people that live in their communities need to have that opportunity to get to go and to come back. Eventually, we're going to have it, and it's going to be a great thing for the people to move around in the city of Detroit and beyond. But for so long, we're the motor city, and everybody should have a car in every driveway. Yeah, it sounds good. Sounds good. But you have to be able to afford all the trimmings that come with it. You have to do oil change, tune-ups, buy new tires, all kind of things. All type of things to maintain that vehicle so that it's safe. So it sounds good. And everybody wants their own vehicle. I understand it. But for some of us that might need the need to use transportation other than our own vehicle, that's a good choice. And we want that choice for our citizens. We want them to have a healthy choice and a safe choice. So that's a conversation. And again, August the 4th, for those of us that are going to the polls, August the 4th is our date. We need to participate. Now, how would I get you excited? I don't know. Because we have so many things worrying us, starting at the top. I don't even have to call the name. But it's the administration. So, again, that's a change. We have to adjust. Because in the next couple of years, there's going to be another change. And we have to participate to make that change better, or as best as we know how better. So to sit back and say, I'm not excited, okay. But know that you did have the opportunity, which they're trying to take away. They're trying to take away the opportunity for us to vote. So you shouldn't allow them to do that. But again, it's change. And change is coming as it always does. Change is coming as it always does. You should think about that. But on a happier note, we're going to do the best we can and keep it moving and celebrate and go out to our concerts, enjoy our parks, enjoy our family members. We're going to go to the movies, but still pay attention to the important things. Still pay attention to the important things. And also what may be important to you is your financial situation, financial education. There's a difference between rich and wealthy. But you have to learn the rules of the financial game. Because it's a game, just like chess. Like, it's a game. With your money, with your dollars, with a bank or a credit union. You got to think about that. And you might want to go to the different symposiums just to hear the information. Not that you're going to make an investment in them, but you need to know how the banks use your money. You need to know how the mortgage companies use your money. You want to know how the credit union use your money and how either you're benefiting from it or you're just getting through. And then you want to understand some people gain from it. And they are financially sound because they understand the rules in the game and they playing to win. You want to understand the games. You want to understand the rules so that you can be on the winning side. And the winning side starts with take a look at your credit report. Make sure it's all you. Because sometimes there are other things on there that are not you. And nobody's going to take it off unless you make sure it's taken off. And that could increase your credit score, which could make your life better or greater. It could. You could get a loan. You could qualify for a loan to make those improvements in your home. But the thing is to understand the name of the game and their rules. And their rules keep changing as well. Their rules keep changing as well. So we have to make sure that we're mindful of what's going on. And it sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's not. We have to listen. What's important to you is important to a lot of people. Some people just know how to capitalize on it better than you, better than me. We're all learning. And the financial thing is the thing. Because at the end of the day, it matters who is in what space. It matters who's in the White House. It matters who's the new or continued mayor. It matters who sits on city council. It matters. You want to have the best people making the best decisions on your behalf. And you want to know how you're able to live a better life. And when you are in control of your finances, no matter what they are, and you have people, politicians in spaces that can make a better decision so that we don't suffer the wrath like these gas prices. That might help us. That might help us. Because I saw a report on the news and they said people get mad when it's hot. I was like, what? Why? I like it hot. It's the energy. And we just have to understand that. It's the energy. So I guess when it's cold on this side of the world, people are happy. Go figure. Don't know. But they have it scientifically mapped out that in the heat, people are mad. So maybe we also better watch out for that offer them a cool popsicle or something. Because, wow, we have a few more days. We're going to be in the 80s. And got to be happy about that. Because in Michigan, we have all kinds of weather. All kinds of weather. Stay here long enough, and the weather is just the way you like it. Because it's always changing in this area. And I just want to say, again, I'm happy to be here. I'm sitting in for Billy E. Jones on the Talk Beat Jones show. And I am Michelle Broden here with you today. I'm a native Detroiter. I am precinct delegate. I am a mother of Detroiters. I'm also a grandmother. And the children go to Detroit public schools. So I'm very concerned about the future of DPSCD. Because, see, I invested in the area where I live with the people that I love the most. So all I'm saying is, let's do our part. Let's do our part. Let's do our part. And if you need help, talk to your neighbors. Find out who your people are in your area that represent you. Pick their brains. You might have a better idea, but if you don't share it, how can we execute the things that we need to live in this city to be better, to be greater? That's what we want. We want to see things the way many reminisce back in the 60s, before or after the riot. You could sit on the porch and watch the children play and have dinner in the evening, and their life is good. But today, we're so busy with electronics. People don't talk to each other. People don't look at each other in the eye. It's out of respect. Hello, I see you. What's up? That's what the young people say. They don't know how to communicate. And we need to get back to that. It's just manners. It's respect. If you don't give it, how can you receive it? And you don't have to be in love with people. You don't even have to like them. Mutual respect. If you love yourself and you're happy, that's awesome. But out of respect, if your aura is good, then that might be catchy. And they might say, wow, she said hello to me, or he said hello to me, and respond back. And it becomes catchy. And we can get back to that neighborly feeling in this city. We do have to rise higher. And that's a good clicky thing to say. Because you want to be like bread. You don't want to be flat forever. And I might have sound flat today because I have a lot on my mind. You want to rise higher like the wheat and the bread. And you want to expand. And you want people to be their best self. And every day I'm working on that because I know I'm the best. But I can be better. And you can too. Just think about it. Work on yourself. Be your best self. And then the people around you, family members, neighbors, they'll notice whether they say it or not. And then they'll check themselves. And now you got another person that's working to be better and greater. And then you have another person. And it can go on and in a circle. And it can come back to you in a different way. It can. It can. That's why they started a national campaign, Pass It Forward. But that kind of stopped, right? You don't even hear it anymore. Maybe around the holidays, but that should be 365 days that we have manners when we're out in the public, and that I see you. And I'm seen. You don't have to have a long conversation with people, but just to acknowledge that a person is there, priceless. It's priceless. That's it. That's it. So in order for us to go forward, today is Wednesday, and it's a happy Wednesday. It's the middle of the week. It's the hump day, or get over the hump day. Every day is the only day that you have to be better or greater. That's why it's called a present. So that's what I want to leave with you today. Again, I am Michelle Broughton, sitting in for Billy Jones, Billy E. Jones, Talkbeat Jones, and he should be back with you next week. And let's all make sure that we are praying for people to be better and greater, and that we acknowledge the people that we know, and that we acknowledge the people that we don't know, because you never know what's going on in somebody's head. They're having a bad day. You can make them have a better day. They still might have a bad day, but you're not going to compound that badness that they think they're going through. So today is Wednesday. Have a good rest of your day in the city of Detroit. No rain today. Get out, sit on your porch. If you have those beautiful decorated alleys, go look at the nature. Just think about it. If you have any fur puppies at home or kittens, make sure they're safe. Make sure you're safe. Stay hydrated. Water is the best drink in the house. Don't cost you nothing unless you're buying bottled water. So I leave you again to next time. Again, this is the Billy E. Jones Talkbeat Jones show, and I am Michelle Broughton, and I will see you next time.
You wouldn't have to go anywhere because this is the Talkbeat Jones, and I